Sky Squad, we back in the building, baby. We back in the building. We talking ladies who list Atlanta reunion, episode 1. Okay, part 1, and the only part. Okay, we're gonna be talking about that. Sabby, thank you so much for that. I appreciate that. Listen, if you are in the chatterization, let us know where you're watching from. You know what I'm saying? It's been a minute since I've been live on the channel. What I decided to do is save the lives for the reviews and the recaps, and then do the news as regular videos. YouTube tends to favor recorded video content, so I'm just trying to, stay within that lane. If you happen to be watching this, though, let us know where you're watching from in that good chatterization. Like I said, baby, St. Louis in the building. I see you. San Antonio, Texas, South Carolina, Jersey. I see you. Maryland, Great Lakes, Modesto. I see y'all. Hey. What's going on? What's going on, y'all? Nashville, Florida, Boston. Who else is in Kansas City? Hey, North Carolina, Ohio, Charlotte, Jersey, Richmond, Virginia. See Harlem, ATL, Augusta. Hey, California cutie, how you doing? Hey, y'all hit that like button when y'all come up in this good room, baby. Hit that like button when you come up in this good room. So we're gonna talk about two things today. The first thing we're gonna talk about is Belle Collective. Now, a lot of you guys have been asking me what is going on with the Belle Collective. Will we be getting a season 2? And when we interviewed Carlos, was it back in December? I think it was. I asked him about it, and he said, well, the Belles are belling. So I said, what does that mean? I took that to mean that, we about to get some information, baby. So I did some digging, y'all. I said, I need to find out what's going on with these good Belles. And what do you know? If you head on over to Miss Marie's page, you guys can see she posted a photo from about 9 hours ago. It says, enjoyed Rock the Runway with my girl Letitia Pearson. We rock the runway. Pull up on the collective at Trio. And then, as you guys can see, the little emojis with the camera, with the TV, with the film camera, and then the film, it says hashtag Belle Collective. So then you scroll down, you see Letitia Pearson say it's always a celebration when we link, period. And then Tambra Cherie says, beautiful. Thanks for coming, ladies. So that tells me that this was most likely an event that was filmed for season 2. Okay. Now let's take things even a step further. I'm sorry, Miss Marie, but we're gonna have to, we're gonna have to take a look at these stories. It says the Belle Collective the collective that was turned Belle Collective. She goes on, she's still doing the popperization. It says the collective out here, hashtag Belle Collective. She don't like nobody at Letitia Pearson at the Belle Collective. So it looks like we got a show, y'all. It looks like we have a show for season 2. Now, I don't know when it's coming, but it's looking like it's on the way. So that's some exciting stuff there, okay? That is some exciting stuff. I'm super duper pumped about that. It's about to be lit. It's about to be lit, y'all. So I need to pull up something else because I wasn't going to do this, but I am. Before I saw the reunion, I happened to catch a couple of posts on Instagram last night, right? So the first post that I looked at, and we're about to get into the Love and not Love It, Ladies Who List Atlanta reunion. And so I just happened to see Crystal's Instagram post where she posted this. My family history is rich with greatness, and I'm very sure of who I am. So because of that, my opportunities are endless. I hate the show didn't show that I live abundantly. How dare this black woman start a law firm and employ a team of men and women who society feels is disadvantaged? How dare this woman expand to the southeastern region before any other minority law firm had the thought? How dare a group of women not be offended by the assault of another woman? Hashtag except for Q. How dare this business owner ask for business? How dare this black woman ask others in the industry to at least be cordial slash friendly? How dare this woman forgive a person and not accept them back into her life? Hashtag access denied. I'm assuming this is talking about Robin. And she also says people will be so confused by your joy and so confused by your confidence. Let them. There's no place like hope. As I look forward, I realized every time I was being rejected from something I believed I was good, I was simply being redirected towards something better. I had people explicitly not like me before we even met. So this TV-ish is nothing new. Welcome to my world. I hope you enjoy the show. To my supporters, I didn't create the blueprint, but I doggone sure know how to follow it. Let's continue to stay in our bag. Don't just look good, be good. Hashtag portrait of a lady. And then Tanika, the host, happened to say, agreed this reunion needed 2 parts. And I asked myself, did the reunion need 2 parts? I don't know if it needed 2 parts or not, based on what was covered last night. And I would wager to say that the way that I would have said it needed to be 2 parts if Kiana had been there. Because I feel like she would have added a lot to the conversation that needed to be added. You know what I'm saying? So I wanted to start off this review with these thoughts from Crystal in mind, because this is what I saw before actually seeing the reunion. And then I'm going to come back to this post when we get done. Okay. Now, let's get down to business. Okay. So, this reunion, if you happen to catch it last night or today, I just got finished watching it because last night I went to go see the Batman. Okay. Um, We got a super chat from the Hicks World who says this season was based on 2 different events. Kiana needed to be phoned in or something. I agree. Dolly says Crystal is the victim. Thank you guys for the super chats. Okay. On a scale of 1 to 10, I need to know what you guys would rate this reunion episode right here. I'm going to give it a 9. I'm going to give it a 9. I see a lot of you guys have rated it a lot lower than me. Erica, did you notice that there was this very oddly placed break in the show? At least that's the way it appeared to me on YouTube TV. I was like, why is this break in the show like this? It was so weird. It was this odd commercial break. And I was like, what is going on? Actually, I'm going to give it an 8. Let me tell you why I give it an 8. I'm going to give it an 8 because I felt like we needed Kiana there. She was a big part of this story. And I felt as though without her input, we were missing some good chunks of this. Okay. I'm gonna give it an 8. I got to take it down a little bit because I don't know. Something was going on. Something was going on with this episode. I don't really know what it was. Maybe it was because they only had, maybe it was limited budget. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times, if you cannot budget for more than one episode or whatever the case may be, but now that I think about it, there were some holes in the reunion, and it was obvious because Kiana was not there. And I just got to say it like that. I got to be honest about it. Y'all know what I'm saying? Omar says maybe they rushed it last minute. I mean, I don't know. What I do know is that all I'm gonna say is this. I'm not gonna say that because what I was gonna say was gonna be a comparison thing, and I don't want to do that. Nelly is motivated, says Crystal stigmatized Robin's mental health, yet she has a therapist herself, then swipe Q's infertility woes to gain sympathy towards the end. Oh my God. Hashtag narc. Ooh. The Hicks world says the other characters were very underdeveloped as a season. There were more episodes in Girls Trip. I don't know. Something was going on with the episode that just it didn't give me everything that I needed. The actual season gave me more than I needed. And I typically look at a reunion. I will tell you the truth about something. I did not watch Atlanta Housewives the first season until the reunion came out. Once I saw the reunion, I went back and watched the episodes from Atlanta season 1 and I realized how good it was. I did not watch but one episode this season of The Real Housewives of Miami, mostly because of time constraints. But I just literally, while I was editing the thumbnail, I was watching the reunion for Miami, which just came out, and now it makes me want to go back and watch the season. As I'm watching this reunion, it is not a reunion that would make me want to go back and watch the season. The season itself needs to be seen because the season was good. The reunion, it was something missing. Like it needed some salt or something, like a little seasoning or something. Anyway, let's get into it all. I need to ask you guys a question. How did you enjoy Tanika Ray as the host of this reunion? In the chat. For me, I don't typically rate a reunion host, but I just kind of wanted to get you guys' opinion or your thoughts about what you guys felt about it, because I see a lot of people in the chat saying they needed a different host. But I guess I want to understand why you guys felt like this was it to me. You hit the nail on the head, the Hicks world. Did it not feel as though the host became a little bit engaged in the shenanigans of the show to some degree? There were just certain comments to me that I felt like, oh, she's really kind of in there. One comment was when she told Robin, hey, I'm gonna need you to calm down a little bit. I'm paraphrasing. I'm gonna need you to calm down, and you do yoga and stuff like that. So, girl, take some deep breaths. And that sent Robin over the edge, and Robin went running. I mean, she went running off the stage because I was like, a reunion host can simply command respect, right? They can simply say, listen, I really want to hear what Kira has to say right now. So we have got to stop talking, over talking each other. We see Andy do that all the time. But it was interesting that she said that. Also, too, I am not a mom. I am not a dad. I'm simply a dog dad. Okay. That is it. I just got dogs. Okay. That's all. Do I want to be a dad? Yes, absolutely. But I'm not yet. And I don't feel no type of way when people mention their kids or not. But when she talked about this side of the couch is mothers and the four of us are mothers, while that is true, I just felt like that was a personal choice that she made in that moment to include herself in it, that I just felt like, okay, I mean, it just felt like she was including herself in with the cast in some way, shape, or form. I don't know. I just felt like she was just very much in it. I don't know. That's how it felt to me. And it almost felt like, I know that they said that they were not trying to weaponize being moms, but that was kind of one of those comments that just sort of made it feel like, I don't know. I could get sometimes what Crystal was saying about that whole scenario. If you're a mom, I think, okay, yeah, we understand that. I feel like there's nothing wrong with you saying it because that's facts, right? But I think it is sometimes in how it was pushed on to the women who were not moms that I just kind of felt like I can kind of see where she's coming from with that. And as I've heard you guys say in the comment section before, that sometimes people can weaponize, well, I'm a mom, so you wouldn't really understand that. Sometimes they do it, and maybe sometimes they don't. It's all in perception. But I guess to me, it just felt like the host was very much involved in some of the chaos. So I guess that's how I felt about it. Now, she looked great. She was beautiful. I felt like she did ask the good questions. So I'm not hating on her. But I think at times, it felt like she was also a cast member on the show. And that was just kind of interesting to me. Um, we learned that Kiana quit the show the week of the reunion. Um, so that was that. Kira speaks on Kiana quitting. Robin is rolling her eyes every time Kira spoke, Robin was rolling her eyes. Even when Kira was talking about Kiana, Robin was rolling her eyes. They get it straight into the real estate of the show. And as we've talked about before on this channel, I do like the fact that they did a lot of real estate business and dealings on this show. That's the truth. They did a lot. We learned that Tiffany closed for Cardi B. It was a 10-hour-long closing on Christmas Eve. I did not know closings could be so long, y'all. I did not know. I mean, probably about as long as these classes I'm taking. But anyway, um, finally we get to the meat and potatoes of the season. Robin wanted to create a power brokerage, and then we talk about that whole dinner. Robin wants to know why it is that Crystal knew about Kiana's issues with her, but never said anything. Now, to be fair, we did see in the season Kiana tell Crystal about her issues with Robin, but who's to say that that Crystal wasn't better friends with Kiana in general? Because if I have one friend tell me one thing, that doesn't mean that I'm going to absolutely repeat what that friend told me to another friend. Because I don't want to be involved. So it just really kind of depends on how she viewed those friendships. But I got the sense during the season that Robin and Crystal were supposed to be the best of Judy's. Crystal wishes she had just mind her own business that night of the argument. And Tanika asked Crystal if she knew anything else that she wasn't being transparent about. Crystal, we learned at this point in time, is uninterested in having a friendship with Robin. And Robin says that Kiana should have been there to share her side of the story. And then Tanika also says that's a fact. I guess that was one of those moments where I felt like I don't feel like Tanika should have gotten involved in that or should have said that. While it is true that we would have gotten more information from Kiana's side of the story, I just felt like we didn't need her to second that emotion. But again, that's me. Okay. We get a flashback of Tiana versus Crystal, where Tiana was trying to explain to Crystal that the word triggered was going to be bothersome to Robin. And Tiana is fired up and she says she's not going to let anybody be jumped on. That's when Crystal starts to try to speak about, well, in true friendship, Kiana was the only person that was concerned about the assault. And by assault, she means when Robin had tapped that on. Okay. Now, apparently, nobody else could see Robin smack up on Crystal like that. Kira says she only saw it in the playback, and Tiffany says she didn't see it either. Robin tries to defend why she smacked her because she felt like she was being attacked. Now, I got to say this, okay? Now, Robin, I likes you. You brings the drama, okay? But the moment you put your hands on her, mm, 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 that's the moment it went a little too far. Because it don't matter hitting somebody to me, you have got to have done something really, really bad for me to want to hit you. Okay. So I just kind of feel like the situation didn't call for you to pop her on the hand. Okay. And she's not a child, right? So anyway, we get into a discussion about the word triggered. Now, Robin says it wasn't the word triggered that bothered her. It was the behavior of her friend that she was bothered by. And Crystal says that she knows the word was wrong and she apologizes, but she assumed that Robin would know that she was coming from a place of love. I'm like, well, girl, not in that moment. I don't think she's going to realize that. Anyway, we get into this idea or the scene where Robin and Crystal they made up. But then something I did not see on the screen, that was the other thing. There were some things that were made into plot points during the reunion that we did not see during the season. And because the ladies have not been around long enough, we don't always know as fans that something is being made into a crucial moment. For instance, I didn't know that Crystal had made a t-shirt that said not easily triggered. Okay. Now, to be fair, this reminds me of when Evelyn made that t-shirt that said, "You are a non-mother effing factor." Okay. And Tammy had, I think, tried to develop get a cease and desist, and Evelyn had ripped that thing to shreds. Okay. Now, I needed to see the t-shirt in the show, but since I didn't, now we got to discuss it after the fact because we did see the clip. I'm not really mad at the fact that Crystal made a t-shirt that says not easily triggered. Girl, make some money. Okay? That's how I feel about it. I mean, at the end of the day, if Robin says the word triggered wasn't the problem, then the fact that she says not easy that she's making a t-shirt that says not easily triggered, girl, get your money for them shirts, okay? Get your money. Because it's actually it's a neat idea. But I can see why Robin would be a little bit offended by it. Okay. Robin says she was disgusted by this t-shirt. And Crystal says that because she's so business-minded, she can sometimes be off-colored. I will say this: there is sometimes where you can be a business person, and sometimes you have to know how to read a room, right? And I know I'm kind of contradicting a little bit what I just now said, but what I mean by that is, listen, sometimes you got to know, is it going to be worth it in the long run to make this business move, right? Is this business move going to kill um a friendship that really is meaningful to me? Is this business move that I'm trying to make, is it going to be perceived as shady, and therefore is it going to go against my brand principles? Is this business move going to be frowned upon by my peers and by potential clients? Okay. And for me, the t-shirt is not in that category. It's just not. It's just not. But something else might be. And we'll touch on that in a minute, a little bit more for those. It's for anybody that doesn't understand where I'm coming from with that. You have to ask yourself, is the cost worth the reward? That's really the key right there. All right. Anyway, Robin then says, well, I don't have a lot of 30-year-old girlfriends. My friends are 60s and 70s, and they done been through some things in life. Okay. They may have birthed children. Now, see, this is one of those moments that's a slippery slope. The fact that she brought up the child thing again, it felt like a dig to me. Now, it may be fact, but the way it was presented, it was wrapped in paper wrapping that smelt like it came from a dig. Okay, that's how I felt in my spirit when she said it. And again, it may be the fact that she had that they her a lot of her girlfriends have kids, but in that moment, the way she threw it at her definitely felt like, oh, my real friends, my girlfriend, they got kids, okay? They are mothers and they're not 30. And so it was because of the way she presented it. They're older, they've been through some things, they're mothers. All of those things felt like digs at Crystal and Kira because they are younger, okay? And this is one of those situations where it's tricky wordplay, right? Because she could then very well say, "Well, no, these are facts. These are absolute facts." But the way you meant it and the way it came across is what is offensive. Okay. Now, Crystal says that Robin is wife and mom shaming and she's tired of it. And then Kira tries to interject because she says, well, I'm trying to be the peacemaker. But Robin cuts Kira off and is like, girl, you are evil. You are not a peacemaker. And Robin is not letting Crystal talk at all. Okay. But not Crystal, Kira. But Kira is trying to explain something. So apparently, at the beginning of the season, Robin had what Kira calls a breakdown on social media. Okay. Let me put the alleged up here because I didn't see this. So there was something that Robin had said that prompted Kira to, hey, want to check in on her sister. And so she DM'd her and said, listen, girl, I don't know if everything is okay, but I'm praying for you. All right. Now, it was apparently 3 weeks later when Robin reached out to her and said, thank you, girl, but can I have your Linda information? Now, see, these one of those things. Now, I don't know, Robin, I got to ask you some questions. And, this bothers me. I can't stand when somebody, and if I'm guilty of this, if I'm guilty of this, call me out on it because I ain't perfect either. But I cannot stand when somebody only reaches out to me or only responds to me when they want something. It is what it is. That's the way it was presented by Kira, is like she's only responded to me because she wanted my Linda's information. So they're going back and forth, Robin and Kira, and Robin is like, you know what? I'm not even gonna smack this child or something like that. So then Tanika's like, I want to hear what she got to say. Robin, don't you do yoga or something like that? Can't you practice some breathing exercises? I was like, Tanika, oh, I don't know. I don't know if you were supposed to say that. I don't know if that was in the job description. But anyway, Robin is pissed because she says, don't say I had a mental breakdown on social media and don't talk to me like that. Mind you, Tiana is a little concerned because Robin is getting crunk and crunk and crunk and crunk and crunk. And Tiana puts her hands on Robin's leg, and Robin is like, don't touch me. Don't you touch me. And Tiana's like, ooh, girl. And so then Robin storms off and she yelling, right? So Tiffany has to go backstage and try to calm her down. And Robin is still screaming, don't try to make it seem like I had a breakdown on social media. And Tiffany's like, well, listen, girl. If you don't want to seem like this, then you got to stop acting like this right now in this moment. Okay. Now she's saying that she checked up on you. And so you can't say that she's lying about that. Because clearly Robin thinks that Kira was not really genuine when she checked up on her. I really don't know. Because I'm thinking to myself, well, girl, Now, this is where I got to disagree with you, Robin. If Kira saw you was breaking down on social media, if she really didn't care at all, she wouldn't have she wouldn't have DM'd you. She didn't even have to do that. For what? For what? I don't understand that. So how was it not genuine? Okay. Um, I just kept saying to myself, I need to see this post on IG. And I don't know if it's still up there because I ain't checked. Anyway, Robin goes back out and sits back down. I did like Robin's outfit. I'm a fan of that kind of blue. Okay. Side note, that's why I wore that color blue on the Love and Marriage Huntsville Social Mania special. I don't know what kind of blue it is actually, but I like it. Speaking of the Love and Marriage Huntsville Social Mania special, part 2 will air tonight. Okay. Sorry I couldn't mention to y'all last week that I was on it, but I just didn't know that they had already I just didn't know that my parts had been put out in any advertisements yet. So I didn't want to say nothing. So anyway, be sure to tune in tonight at 8 p.m. on because we'll be back. Anyway, so they go back and they change topics to self-care and mental health. Now, Crystal is saying that this is the first time she realized that Robin's mental health journey was so extensive, I should say. And I'm being careful with my words because she didn't realize that Robin was going through an ongoing stage of depression. That's what she says. Tiffany tries to stop her and says, no, you did know. Robin is like, you did know as well. And Crystal says she didn't know it was an ongoing everyday issue. And then as I was watching the YouTube TV, a commercial popped up in the middle of the scene. And I was like, was that segment done? What happened? Did it finish? How did we resolve that? Because when we came back from commercial break, we was talking about Crystal pursuing Kira. I said, no, what's going on here? Is this YouTube TV or is this just, is it something on my screen? Did y'all see it? Because I couldn't understand it. I couldn't get it. Side note, let me know who y'all felt like had the best, who was best dressed last night. In the chat, best dressed, give it to me right now, okay? In your opinion. They all look great, but I do have a best dressed, okay? I do have a best dressed. We get into Crystal. Yeah, I gotta say, Robin to me was best dressed as well. Like it was something about that blue, man. It was something about that blue. Oh, a lot of people like Tiana's. Tara says YouTube. Oh, that's not YouTube TV missed a lot. Tanika did look amazing. Yeah, the editing. It was something going on, man. It was something going on. Anyway. The idea of Crystal pursuing Kira comes up. Now, Crystal says this, as a business owner, it is her responsibility to ask for business. She says she has beast in her DNA. You know, she goes into what her mama does, what her daddy does, what her pedigree is, and why she is the way that she is when it comes to business. And she says she has the beast DNA running through her body. Okay. And Tanika's like, yes, can we celebrate her? Yes, can we get a hand clap of praise, y'all? And Tiana's like, no, because that ain't the type of beast we want to see. Okay, because it's what you got. If what you got to do to become that beast is negative, then that ain't the type of beast we want. Okay. I was like, ooh. And Crystal's like, I'm glad you chimed in. And Tiana's like, I'm glad I did too. It was so funny. I didn't realize they had still carried so much animosity from that one incident that they had near the beginning of the season. But anyway, I was here for it. Tiffany then calls Crystal out for, wanting to be so collaborative, or talking about wanting to be so collaborative, but then while she admits that Crystal doesn't owe her anything, she just thought it was odd that it wasn't until the show started filming that Crystal wanted to go after Kira's business, when it was Tiffany who has been with Kira from the beginning, when she was closing not luxury deals but $100,000 deals, for which I'm sure Tiffany's commission was probably very low. And I was like, ooh, okay. But we do learn that Kira was interestingly backed up Crystal in this and was like, well, it wasn't all about, the deals. We did get to know each other, which I was like, this is interesting. I mean, I would have, in my mind, I was like, we saw a lot of Kira and Tiffany closing together. So I would have just expected maybe her to have to be more on Tiffany's side. But I do think that Crystal did need the support that I feel like Kiana probably would have been able to give her had Kiana been there, because Crystal otherwise was on an island by herself. All right. So, we get into all the ladies doing luxury real estate or whatever. And then we get into this journey of motherhood. Oh, Lord. That's when Tanika, in my notes, I wrote, Tanika makes it a point to say, well, this side of the couch is mother's, the four of us. And I was like, I don't know. I don't know why it just felt to me like she was very like so much including herself in on the drama, but it is what it is. We get into the blow up between Kiana and Robin about me and moms. And we start with Tiana because she talks a lot about motherhood and says it's a gift. While Tiana is talking, Crystal is breaking down and crying, and she says that I thought this was a very good point, to be very honest with you. Crystal says that sometimes people who are able to conceive forget how hard that journey is. And when she's trying to open up to them and they say, well, I'm a wife and a mom and I don't have time for that, it is very it feels passive aggressive and it feels very demeaning, and I can understand that. Like, here's the thing. While as much as I feel like Robin makes a lot of great drama for this show, I feel like for somebody who does not have enough time on their hands for drama, because you are a wife and a mom, or a mom, you sure do make a lot of drama for a mom. Okay. So I don't want to, like, this idea that, oh, this is drama and I don't have time for it because I'm a wife and a mom. First of all, you're on a show, so you had time to film this show, and these shows are going to have just a teeny bit of drama. Okay. Yes, OWN is very good for giving us Black excellence. They are very good for showing us aspirational lifestyles, and that is a big piece of the puzzle. But another piece of the puzzle for reality TV shows is conflict. That is what makes a television show. So when you say that I don't have time for drama and I don't have time for this, how did you find time to film a show? Because when you are filming a show, I'm going to tell you the truth, guys, it is a very long and arduous process. There is a filming schedule that you have to adhere to. And when they're setting up to film, it is not like it takes them 2 minutes and the cameras are up. Sometimes it can take an hour or an hour and a half to 2 hours to set up to film a scene. So to tell us, to tell another castmate that I don't have time for the drama because I'm a mom, that makes absolutely no sense. Yes, you are a mom, and yes, we celebrate that, but you're still on this show, so you have a job to do, so you have committed to some drama. Okay? That's it. That's it. So I just don't, this idea, and yes, and that doesn't take away from the fact that I am sure your mind is, as a mom or as a dad, is always on your kids. I am quite sure of that. But to minimize someone else's um feelings or issues that they are having when you yourself have participated in some level of drama, make it make sense. You can't just pick and choose when you want to say, I'm a mom. You're always a mom. You might just be a dramatic mom. I ain't trying to hit nobody in a sensitive spot, but I'm just gotta say it like I see it with this. Okay. And that's it. Um, I'm sorry, I had to get that out of my system because I felt like you gotta you're on the show. Let's not forget that. Okay. Let's not forget that aspect. All right. Um Now, and I'm not saying that everything Crystal did was she put herself in her own mess at times. She does. But that's reality TV. Okay. Anyway, um, Tiana, which this is a moment I appreciated. Tiana goes over to comfort her and asked her, "What can we do to make this better?" This to me, this moment that I'm about to talk about right here was my favorite moment of the show. She goes over to comfort Crystal and says, "What can we do to make it better?" And Crystal opens up that she's had a miscarriage and it's not something that she's wanted to talk about. Now, in this part right here, a lot of the mom conversation did not involve Crystal on the show. It mostly was centered around people talking about her to Kiana or talking about her and she was not in the room. So we're just now getting the reality of whatever Crystal's motherhood journey may have been, right? Or could be, right? And that's when she tells us about the miscarriage. Whether or not she's actually ever said it in on the show, we don't know because maybe it wasn't filmed, right? Or it may have just not made the edit. Um, Tiffany asked her, "Well, are you talking to me? Is it something that she said?" And she says that she's had a miscarriage too, and all day long she's thinking about her children, and it's not to throw it in anyone's face. Specifically with Tiffany, I don't think that she typically uses that to throw it in anyone's face. I never got that from Tiffany. What I did get from Tiffany is these are the things that preoccupy my mind on a day to day basis. When she said to Crystal, "This is the first time we're having a conversation like this, and I had not been able to connect with you before. Now I feel like I can connect with you because I can empathize with where you are." And to me, that moment that she was having with Crystal as Crystal was crying was what I really wanted to see with Tiffany and Crystal because I felt like in that moment this was something that could be a building block for season 2 for them to start to begin some type of real relationship on some different level because clearly we can see that Crystal and Robin are no longer going to be friends. So it would be nice to see with the way that Tiana went to comfort, because it should have, in my mind, I was like, I would have expected or hoped that Robin would have been the person that would comfort Crystal, but Robin was kind of looking at her with a side eye. So I was like, does Robin not believe Crystal's tears? But it was very interesting to watch, right? But it was Tiana that went over and comforted Crystal and not Robin. And it was Tiffany that was saying, "This is how I can empathize with you. This is how I feel like we can begin to somehow build on something." So I like that. Um, Tanika then says that Kiana could have felt the same way, and she basically said something about it being an insecurity for Kiana. And I guess it was the word insecurity that just bothered me a little bit, because even though we did know that Kiana said that she later said that she felt like she was projecting, I don't think it's fair to call that an insecurity for Kiana as much as I think it is a valid issue. Insecurity sort of minimizes what the actual issue is. So I just feel like sometimes wordplay can be very detrimental to what is actually could be a positive situation if if Kiana had been there. So I just didn't like that either. That word insecurity, right? It just felt like, let's not demean whatever she's going through to just being an insecurity, because it's obviously deeper than that, right? And again, I wholeheartedly admit I am a man. So it is, I don't fully comprehend or understand, but I am somebody who I feel like is at least trying to be empathetic to whatever it is that is happening on a woman's journey. That's all I can do, right? Um, we learned that Robin still has a vision for Cell Atlanta. Tiana and Tiffany, interestingly, agree that they want to help her build that. Crystal is open to it, and Kira is open to it. I'm just not sure how that's going to work. I mean, maybe this is a plot point for season 2, and they wanted the ladies all on the same page. But I just didn't understand. It just didn't seem like Kira or Crystal, because I don't think that Crystal wanted to be friends with Robin anymore. And I definitely didn't feel like Kira was like on the same page with Robin. I felt like it almost felt like she felt pressured to say yes, but I don't know if that's what she really meant. One thing I will say is, um, let me say this, and some of you might not agree, and some of you might agree. You can be God fearing and still snap on somebody. Okay. And I feel like that's Kira. I do. She might be younger. She's clearly successful, but I feel like you could be God fearing and still snap. Okay. So I do want to say that. Um, Even as Kira is talking, Robin is still rolling her eyes at the end of the day. Okay. So as I reflect back on Crystal's Instagram post, and I'm just using her as an example. Look, I could have picked up any of the ladies' posts, I guess, but hers kind of struck me because hers was the one I saw first. Probably because I may have interacted with her page last. Y'all know how the Instagram algorithm is. Um, it sounds as though she still has some feelings, some residual feelings about some of the ladies on the show, specifically maybe Robin, Tiana, and Tiffany. I'm not sure. Even though it seemed like she and Tiffany and Tiana ended up on a better note, I'm still curious as to how things will move forward into season 2. So, I for one want another season. I want season 2 because I felt like season 1 was lit. I do feel like this reunion could have been edited better. But I'm not giving up hope on him. I love the fact that they got a reunion. I love the fact that they showed a lot of real estate on this show. But I do think that there are some things that can be better next season, especially in terms of their reunion. And I wish it was always mandatory for a cast member to attend a reunion. I do, because it would have been nice to hear from Kiana. But there's that. All right, guys. So that's all the news that I have for you guys. And that's the review for Ladies Who List London. I don't know, man. Not Ladies Who List London. Ladies Who List Atlanta. I loved it. I mean, I did. I know some people didn't feel like this was a good. It's interesting to me. I'm seeing a lot of comments about how people are saying they don't want to see a season two, but as we have been reviewing the season, everybody was like, "Oh, I love it! I love it! I love it!" You can't let one bad show stop you from liking a show. If that's the case, we wouldn't have many shows on the air because at some point in time, an episode is not going to be good. So if you can't be a fly by night, if all it takes is for one episode for you to feel like throw the whole show away, no, that's not how TV works. That's not how TV works. So, let's be real about that. All right? Be real about it. Be real. Be real. Don't be a fly by night. With that being said, I'm gonna catch y'all. Y'all know I love y'all. Happy Saturday, y'all. Take some time out to rest today. I know I'm about to because I'm about horse about now. I don't have any major to-do list items. I might go to the gym, do a little jog or something. I don't know. But you know what? I'm gonna rest today. How about that? So I hope that y'all get some rest as well. Y'all know I love y'all, and I'm gonna catch y'all in the next video.